Hello and welcome to the Hibs Observer post-match reaction from Livingston 0, Hibernian 2 in the Premier Sports Cup. Fairly routine performance and result for Hibs in West Lothian this afternoon, and they advance to the quarter-finals of the League Cup where they will face Rangers at Ibrox. David Gray made 6 changes to his side for this afternoon's game, just with a view to the 120 plus minutes against Partizan Belgrade on Thursday night. So there were 6 changes in total, including a first start for Tibo Clij and competitive debuts for Miguel Chaiwa in midfield and Rafael Salinger in goals. Hibs started off quite strongly, as you might imagine. Historically, a bit of a difficult place for them to go to here at the home of the Setfair Arena, but we know this Hibs team has been well drilled by David Gray in the importance of taking each game as it comes, only focusing on one game and not looking too far beyond to Thursday night's first leg against Legia Warsaw in the playoff round of the Conference League. So, a fairly good first half from Hibs, some nice football, quite kind of robust as you might imagine in terms of challenges from both sides, a couple of cards, and looked as if we would be going into the half-time break all square until Tibo Clij popped up with his first goal. Hibs had a series of corners, Martin Boyle swung it in, and the summer signing from Luzern in Switzerland flicked it into the net to give Hibs a 1-0 lead going into the interval. Great time to score for Clij, and a good time for Hibs to get a goal as well because it gave them the upper hand going in at the break. Hibs came out the second half and kind of huffed and puffed a little bit. The performance level maybe dipped slightly just as players who were maybe involved on Thursday night started to feel a little bit in the legs, but a number of changes that David Gray made throughout the second half, including Josh Mulligan coming on just to give a bit more legs to the midfield, resulted in the second goal. Livingston failing to adequately clear a corner, and the ball fell to Mulligan, who was arriving on the edge of the box, and he larruped one into the net off the far post on the 87th minute. So really just kind of wrap things up for Hibs there after a period in which Livingston had been threatening to kind of get back into the game. Livingston boss David Martindale speaking afterwards, saying that he felt Hibs deserved to go through. Pleased with parts of his team's performance today, but couldn't argue with Hibs scoring twice to get through to the next round. David Gray speaking as well, very impressed with his team, impressed by the level of performance, not dipping despite making those 6 changes. And now attention turns to that game against the Polish side Legia on Thursday night, because as we know, he takes it one game at a time. So with Livingston out the way, with this game out the way, he will now start his homework on Legia Warsaw. I think a few promising signs from Hibs. Alassane Mane playing a good chunk of the game and impressing in midfield. Miguel Chaiwa, I thought, really assured in that central position alongside Alassane. Some really nice touches, an eye for goal as well. He had a few long-range efforts which didn't come to anything, but we were told that he was very much a kind of long-term type of player, that he wouldn't be sort of expected to be starting every week and playing 90 minutes, but a really assured showing. Still only 21 years old, the Zambian internationalist, but his debut goal, very tidy, very accomplished, and I think Hibs will probably be quite grateful to include him in the European squad for the playoff round in the Conference League. Player spoke afterwards to the media, and we'll have more of what he said this week, but I think a tidy debut from the former Young Boys midfielder. Elsewhere, Grant Hanley coming in for his second start since signing on, and individual defence in place of Rocky Bashiri, but again, very tidy, very professional performance. We know what he brings. There's a reason he's had 60-odd caps for Scotland, and just to really help to marshal the back line with Jack Iredale and Warren O'Hora on either side. Right wing back Kanayo Megwa coming in place of Chris Cadden, really assured performance from him. And somebody I think has been given a chance by Gray to show what he can do. He was involved in pre-season in the Netherlands. He's come on in some of the European games and got a chance today to play 90 minutes, and I thought probably took it. Played really well defensively, got forward well to support the attack, few crosses, and just a very tidy performance all round. And as mentioned, Tibo Clij, I've had to wait to see a lot of him since he arrived from Luzern, and when you spend over £1 million on a player and it's your record signing, there is maybe a little bit of confusion as to why he's not playing as many games as possible, but that's really just been to give him a chance to settle in, to really kind of get to know his teammates, get to know the Scottish game. And he played up front today with Martin Boyle, and the two of them, that pace, just getting in behind, caused the Livingston backline no end of problems. In fact, I think it was the first 5 minutes he had a dipping volley from the edge of the area that he was probably unlucky not to see go in. Jerome Pryor with a very good save to put it out for a corner, and then from the resulting corner, Clij went close again with a header. So, interesting to see a lot of Clij for the first time. We've seen him in kind of fits and starts, a few minutes here and there in Europe or off the bench in league games. So good to see him get a chance today from the start, and nice to see him, get a goal, because for his confidence that will do him wonders. And it's another option that David Gray has up front. It really is an embarrassment of riches. No need to call on Kieran Bowie today. Obviously ran himself into the ground for most of the 120 minutes on Thursday night. Junior Hoyle and Ellie Yuan able to come off the bench today to give Martin Boyle a rest as well. So just a really kind of tidy performance in West Lothian. As I mentioned before at the start of the video, it's been historically quite a difficult place for Hibs to come. They've struggled here in the past. They've also had some good results here in the past, but they have struggled. You can see the new AstroTurf pitch behind me. Does look better than the previous surface that was down here, but it can be tricky to play on. But I thought Hibs adapted really well. Didn't really struggle on the surface, and it was I think David Gray called it professional performance, and that's really the best way I would put it as well. Just a really kind of tidy and controlled display. I think there must have been a few tired legs from Thursday night, but the main thing is getting through to the next round, and that's what they've managed to do. So attention now turns to Thursday night against Legia Warsaw, the first leg at Easter Road. Just 2 games standing between Hibs and the group stages, or the league phase, if you like, of the Conference League. It'll be a first for Hibs getting into the league phase of a European competition. So far they have lost to Midtjylland in the Europa League, but then got past Partizan Belgrade. Legia will be another test. Very strong traditionally. Maybe struggled against like Larnaca of Cyprus in the third qualifying round of the Europa League, which is why they've dropped into the Conference League. But again, no slouches, and probably shouldn't be underestimated. So the hard work, or the homework, if you like, the scouting will start now in earnest. Obviously some will have been done already, but David Gray, having got the Livingston game out of the way, can now focus fully on Thursday night and how to plot away past the Poles to give Hibs the best chance of going over to Warsaw for the second leg a week on Thursday, and hopefully take Hibs to the league phase of the sort of tertiary European competition. In terms of fitness, Nicky Cadden got some more minutes off the bench today. David Gray didn't want to risk him after he played sort of longer than he might have expected to on Thursday night after that hamstring injury. Jamie McGrath missed out on Thursday night. He also missed out again today. David Gray is hopeful of having him back in his squad, fit and available for Thursday night. He's due to return to training tomorrow, due to be on the grass with the rest of the players, and that's one that they'll just monitor and see how he comes through it. But giving Jamie as much time as possible to make the squad. I would imagine they'll also have a chance to go through any bumps and bruises that might be picked up from today's game, but David Gray, speaking afterwards today, seemed very hopeful / confident that he would have pretty much a near full squad to choose from for Thursday's game. So that can only be a positive thing. So I'll wrap it up here. I'll leave the stadium so they can close it up, and we'll have plenty more reaction and follow up from today's game on the Hibs Observer. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. £1 for 6 months to have access to everything that we do. If you can drop us a little subscribe on YouTube as well, that also helps us to keep on producing videos like this. So thank you for watching, and we'll speak again soon. Cheers.